When most nations spend billions chasing perfection in the sky, Sweden quietly built a fighter that does it all, efficiently, smartly, and ruthlessly well. Meet the Saab JS-39 Gripen, the aircraft the world once underestimated, but now everyone is watching. The latest variant, the Gripen E, isn't just another multi-role jet. It's a statement, a symbol of what happens when engineering precision meets battlefield practicality. This fighter is a true shapeshifter. Air-to-air, air-to-ground, reconnaissance, it switches roles faster than most jets can take off. Powered by the General Electric F414G engine, it's not just fast, it's viciously responsive. The Gripen E can climb steep, turn sharp, and reach Mach 2, slicing through the sky at over 2,100 kilometers per hour. That's London to Paris in under 10 minutes. Inside, its data fusion cockpit looks more like a high-tech command hub than a cockpit, with a massive panoramic display feeding the pilot real-time intelligence from every sensor. Every second counts, and this jet ensures no second is wasted. And then there's its AESA radar and electronic warfare suite. Systems so advanced, they allow the Gripen to see first, strike first, and disappear before the enemy even knows what happened. But here's the real brilliance. The Gripen was never meant to be a luxury fighter like the F-35. It was built for smart nations, not rich ones, for those who value adaptability over extravagance. And now, that philosophy might change the entire air war over Ukraine.
In May 2025, history was quietly rewritten in the skies. For the first time ever, a fighter jet was flown by artificial intelligence, and that jet wasn't American, Russian, or Chinese. It was Swedish. The Gripen E, guided by its AI co-pilot known as Centaur, completed 3 successful sorties, proving not just automation, but autonomous intelligence in air combat. This was more than a test. It was a glimpse into the future of warfare. With Centaur at the helm, the Gripen showcased beyond visual range dominance, firing virtual targets from distances where human eyes are useless, but data isn't. And when it comes to firepower, the Gripen carries a punch far above its weight. Armed with MBDA Meteor and AIM-120 AMRAAM for long-range kills, and Iris-T and AIM-9 Sidewinder for medium-range dogfights, it's a hunter built for every kind of sky. But here's what truly unsettled Washington: the Meteor missile. Unlike anything in the American arsenal, it turns the Gripen into a sky sniper, destroying enemies before they even realize they're being tracked. Military historian Andrei Karuk told the Kiev Independent, "The US simply doesn't have such missiles to offer Ukraine. The Gripen is playing in a league of its own." And it doesn't stop there. The Swedish jet's information sharing system outperforms the American Link 16, which, interestingly, was removed from the F-16s the US gave Ukraine. That single difference? It means the Gripen can fight smarter, not just harder. Add to that its ability to take off and land on rough roads, its simple maintenance, and its low operating cost, around $8,000 per flight hour, nearly half that of Ukraine's aging MiG-29s. For a war that's draining budgets and burning through machinery, the Gripen isn't just a weapon, it's a sustainable warfighter, tailor-made for nations fighting against the odds. For decades, Sweden built its air power on one philosophy: resilience under pressure. Unlike most nations that rely on massive air bases, Sweden's air doctrine, dating back to World War II, was built around a different vision. If your base is destroyed, the fight must still go on. Ukrainian pilot Voroshilov explains it best. The Swedish Air Force trained conscripted airmen to repair and relaunch aircraft from roads and frozen fields. It's in their DNA. This mindset lives on in the Gripen. It was engineered not for luxury hangars, but for the battlefield itself. Military expert Peter Leighton from the Royal United Services Institute told the Kiev Independent, "The Gripen is built for field operations. It can take off and land on simple highways, even from damaged strips, something the F-16 simply can't do. That difference is not minor, it's life or death in Ukraine's reality. Russia strikes airfields almost daily, hunting Ukrainian aircraft before they even lift off. But with Gripens, the turnaround time is astonishing. Under ideal conditions, a Swedish fighter can land, refuel, rearm, and take off again in just 10 minutes. That speed means survival. It means unpredictability. It means Russia's satellite eyes can't keep up. And even in chaos, Sweden thought ahead. The Gripen's air intakes are placed high and to the sides, reducing the risk of sucking in debris or rubble after a strike. It's a small design detail, but in war, small details save millions in repairs and countless lives. Yet, as the skies over Ukraine evolve, so does the threat. Russia's glide bombs, stealthy, deadly, and relentless, are now striking deeper than ever. They fly low, hug the terrain, and appear on radar too late for air defenses to respond. It's not just a battle of weapons anymore, it's a battle of adaptation. And in that fight, the Gripen's design philosophy might be Ukraine's strongest shield. Russia's glide bomb campaign isn't a trickle, it's a torrent. According to Ukrainian experts, roughly 6,000 guided aerial bombs are being deployed over Ukrainian territory every month. That's industrial-scale terror, launched from scores of aircraft operating from multiple airfields. So asking, how do we stop the bombs, misses the smarter question, how do we stop the launch? Enter the MBDA Meteor, Europe's long-range air-to-air spear. Justin Bronk puts it plainly, only the Meteor has the reach to threaten Su-34s launching glide bombs 30 to 60 miles, 50 to 100 kilometers behind the front. In other words, it can punch into the enemy's safe zone and force launch platforms to move, hide, or stop. Anatoly Krichinsky, a former Ukrainian officer now in electronic warfare, paints the scale we're facing. Roughly 300 aircraft using 9 operational airfields to launch those thousands of munitions. Intercepting every single glide bomb? Technically possible, but strategically disastrous. You'd burn resources and still lose men and towns. Krichinsky's prescription is surgical. Deny the enemy the ability to fire rather than chase each falling bomb. That means 3 complementary lines of effort. 1. Long-range air-to-air missiles, Meteor, AMRAAM variants mounted on Gripens, F-16s, MiGs, and Sukhos to push the bomber threat back. 2. Airborne early warning and targeting, so friendly fighters can see and engage launch platforms before they release munitions. 3. Electronic warfare and precision strikes to blind, degrade, or destroy the very aircraft and runways used for mass launches. When platforms, runways, and logistics become vulnerable, production numbers, like the recent ramp-up of glide bomb fabrication at Arsenal 54, stop being enough. You can build munitions in quantity, but if launch options dry up, they're just stockpiles. Here's the cold calculus. You can't outshoot industrialized bombardment forever. But you can change the battlefield's economics. Make launches expensive, risky, and rare. Force the enemy to scatter aircraft, reduce sortie rates, or move assets far from the front, where they're less effective. That's deterrence by denial, not by guesswork. Gripens armed with Meteors aren't a magic bullet, but they are a strategic lever. Couple them with EW, long-range standoff strike systems, and airborne sensors, and you shift from reactive defense to proactive control. If Ukraine can make the sky itself a hazardous zone for launch aircraft, the next chapter becomes political. Fewer Russian strike sorties, more negotiating leverage. But turning capability into lasting strategy will test alliances, logistics, and resolve. In modern warfare, defense alone is never enough. You can't just block the punch, you have to throw one back. That's the core of Anatoly Krichinsky's warning. He says Ukraine doesn't just need fighters or missiles, it needs a complete air component, a connected system of strike and support platforms that can see, react, and hit beyond the horizon. According to Krasinski, success lies in combining two critical assets. One, long-range strike aircraft capable of launching missiles from 185 kilometers or more, and airborne early warning systems that can detect, identify, and target enemy aircraft before they even approach the front line. Ukraine already has the tools, they just need to be synchronized. Weapons like Storm Shadow, ATACMS, and JASSM for the incoming F-16s can together carve out a 300-kilometer strike zone around the front line. That means, within that bubble, any Russian aircraft, launcher, or command node is living on borrowed time. And that changes everything. When Russia can only operate from one airfield instead of 9, when only 10 Su-34 bombers can launch instead of 300, Ukraine's leverage at the negotiating table multiplies overnight. But Krasinski's point carries a caution. He says, this must be constant, daily effort. Precision strikes on key sectors like oil depots, logistics, and runways only matter if they're relentless. If you want more frontline analysis, tactical deep dives, and the real story behind every sortie, subscribe to Viperjet Wings now.